Good morning, everyone. How are you doing? It is Ann coming to you on a Wednesday morning. We've got Bristol tomorrow, so I can't come on tomorrow, and I've got something going on Friday, and our appointment isn't until this afternoon. I said, I'm going to hop on real quick so that we can finish our little shelf sitters. I'm going to go ahead and turn you down and pull up my iPad. Well, I say I'm going to turn you down. I have to adjust that. So give me just a second here. Let me find us. I hope you're able to join us this morning. I know it is an unusual day for me to come on a Wednesday. And I had thought that I was going to be able to do it Thursday, but I didn't think about that we will have Bristol and that we have an appointment on Thursday as well. So here we are. That's just changes. I'm trying to figure out how the light is horrible today. Why is the light horrible? I don't know. You've got shadows. I don't know. There's nothing ever is. Just go with the flow. That's what we're doing, going with the flow. I just want you to see more of the project, though. Okay, that's good enough. This is our one side. We're going to add some more transfers to this side. And we are going to mimic the other side, but we've got a bunch of little pieces. I still don't like the way that is set up. My arm just fell. All right, technical difficulties. Hold on just a moment. My arm for my apparatus just fell. There it goes. You don't need to see me. You need to see the project, right? Sorry for the switching back and forth and here and there and everywhere. All right. We are going to try to mimic this side by using all of these different elements. And these came out of, what is this one? This is called Autumn Flowers. That's where they came out of. And make sure that you got it laying the way that you want it to lay. And this is the way I wanted it. And I did add that little ladybug on this one already. And we're going to use our Essential Stencil burnishing tool. That is really comes in handy. And let's see. Let's do a dry run. And then we'll figure out how we want to put this on. This is not exactly like the other side. I think I like it better over here. So I just play around with it, do like a little dry run. And some will overlap to the other side again, as it did before. See, I want one that's a little higher, one that's a little lower. I want to add my flower in the middle right here to cover up some of those stems. And I got a little acorn. And we got a little bit of flowers. And then our ladybug will go on last. I like that layout. So I'm going to peel back the layers one at a time. because I got to lay this down first. So I am just going to move this up because he is going down first. And I like that we can go a little bit slower so that you guys can see how this comes together. Hey, Miss Bonnie. Wishing you the best, praying for your doctor's appointment. I'm so excited for you. Praying that everything will go well and all your upcoming surgeries and treatments and waiting time to see if it worked. I'm praying for best results. And in case you're new to our community, I do believe in prayer. And if there's anything that we can pray for, let us know. You can message me. You can request prayer in the comments. But we are a faith-filled community that praises the Lord and trusts Him with our everyday life, because He is the Creator and He knows every part of our bodies. Now we have our first part on. Then I'm gonna take these two off because this was next. So let's see. I don't want to cover up too much of the leaf, so I'm gonna pull this back up a little bit. I'll take this off so we know that this stem will line up with this leaf right there. And that's how you build your transfers. And touch them only where there is clear space. And don't lay them down until you are sure that is the way you want it positioned, because once they stick, most of the time you're not going to be able to lift them back up again. And then I am just going to go around the edge right here. Check up and pre up. That is amazing that you were able to get that surgery that you need. Praise the Lord for that. And I'm just using my fingernail. When you have little branches like this or like the leaf, make sure that they are burnished in good. And burnishing just means you use your tool and you press into it. These transfers can go on so many things. They can go on metal, galvanized metal, glass, plastic, fabric, wood. I don't think I have encountered a surface yet that you cannot put these on. The only thing is you have to make sure that it is dry. So if you have a painted surface, that your paint is dry. And if you have, like, say, a galvanized bucket that you bought at a flea market or a thrift store, then make sure that that is clean. Same for glass. And as long as your surface is clean, and for metal and glass and even plastic, I use rubbing alcohol, and I just go over it and clean it really good. I'm praying that that will give you relief, and that you will, that will help you tremendously. And see, I keep checking on how I want to lay this down. And if you ever pick it up and you're like, oh, I picked up the wrong piece, as long as you use that shiny side right there and you put that back on, then you can reuse it. And I am just going to lay it like over top of this right here. I just wanted that a little bit higher. See where I laid that. Like I said, we are just building in layers. And I got a little edge right here that we need to secure on the other side. So I'm just going to bend it over, hold it, and just use my fingernail. It was just a small little area, so I didn't need to get out the big old tool. And again, these tools are available from Essential Stencil. And you see me, I'm using it this way. You can use it either way. I like the rounded corners. If you need to get into little angled corners, you can use the other tool from Essential Stencil because it has more of a pointed corner, so that would help with that. And then just lift up. Now my hubby's got a PT appointment this afternoon to help strengthen his body so that whenever kidney transplant happens, that he will have the strength to withstand all the surgery and everything that comes afterwards with all the rejection drugs and, you know, just regular things after surgery. You guys know what it is like to have surgery when you in an older age. I'm not saying that we're old or anything, but when you're in your 60s, it's different than when you're in your 30s and 40s. And especially when you have other underlying conditions. So see how we've built this? Looks good already. And we're just, like I said, we're just building in layers. And then our flower will go over top right here. And I am going to stick this little guy like right here. I'm going to scoot my flower over a little bit. And then these can go right there. And if it is not exactly where I wanted it, it is okay too. We are just adding embellishments to just create a beautiful decor piece. This might not be the same place that I had thought about. And I normally rub over it with my hand a little bit. If you have not had a chance to check out the Essential Stencil page, they have restocked several fall favorite transfers. And they offer them individually and as a bundle deal. The bundle is 20% off. And I cannot remember. I think you get 8 different ones in there. A couple of them are single, and then a couple of them are 2 sheets in the set. So if there's something that you've been waiting on or looking for or missed out the first time, make sure you check that out. And as always, please, I would love it if you use my code WK21. That will save you and it will help me out. And that means a lot to me. And I appreciate you doing that. I appreciate the hearts. I don't think it does that anymore. I appreciate the hearts, the thumbs up, the comments, the sprinkling or sharing. I'm not supposed to say that word. Spreading out the whimsy. I appreciate that so much. That's how your creatives grow their pages, and that's how new friends will find them. People that love the things that you like in a creator, they will be able to find them because you have shared it out, because you like it, and tell others, hey, look and see what they are making. I love it. And now lastly is our big flower on here. And again, I am just going to hover over it to see where I want to put this, how far down I want to come. And it is covering a lot of the stems. So that little messy middle we had, it covered all of that. I hope this is helping you to not be afraid on using transfers and to see how you can take a grouping of transfers, individual pieces, and bring them together to create a beautiful piece or to mimic an existing transfer by adding different elements together. And Essential Stencils transfers are amazing. The colors, the detail in these, and the ease with how they are going on, amazing. Just really amazing. And I am lifting and pushing with my tool. And I normally come to the other side because I don't want it to accidentally fall off, fly off, and have a piece that did not adhere. If you have a piece that did not lay down, just lay your stencil back, your transfer back down. I've got a little stubborn piece right here. Got it. Sometimes just come at it from another angle and it will work itself out. Main thing is slow and steady. Don't rush this job. And look at our piece together piece. And this one came just like that. I think we've done really well with this. And let's see, where do we want to put our little ladybug at? I think he should sit on the flower right there. I think that's a good place for him. If I can get it apart. And I got a little acorn cap that I'm probably gonna put down at the bottom. On your ladybug, make sure that you get his little legs good, because you don't want to amputate anything. He needs all his legs. He looks good right there. And there's a little acorn cap. And let's see. I think I was going to lay it down here at the bottom, because those are oak leaves. And then you got your acorns right there. So the wind blew this one over right here in the corner. And see, you can even use your fingernail to adhere this. You can use a popsicle stick. Look how cute that looks. Our ladybug looks like he is just at home right there. I'm going to stand this up. Got a vintage spool. I'm going to use the dark side and put the white side down. And I am going to use my Liquitex. And I'm just going to spread it on here. This stuff holds really good. And I like it because it's a paste and you can just put it on here. I am going to make sure that this is on here the right way, because I don't like it crooked. And then I'm just going to see. It looks about good. And I have a lot on here. I'm just pushing it back down. And then I'm just going to take my tool and scrape the rest up. This dries clear. And we'll just let it sit and work on something else before we add our other embellishments to it. You can also use a wet rag to clean that up. And that's what we have so far. So let's set this aside so that that can dry a little bit. There's our little, these two move. In case you missed it, that's fabric. So I'm going to add some crackle. I'll not get my crackle out. There's my crackle. Your crackle will settle. And see how it is dark on the bottom? You will have to shake that up really good to get your crackle And we're going to use, where was my color? We will use sugared peach on top of that. I just want a little crackle to come through. And we will put that same napkin on that side. I just wanted to show you what it looks like with the crackle. Hey, River Hill Crafts. How are you, Michelle? Welcome, welcome. This is what we did today. We took several transfers and combined them together to create a similar look. And this one piece, this was one piece, and I just added a little ladybug to it. And we put our vintage spool on there, and we're going to add some more things. We started these on Monday, so if you didn't see the beginning, we are just taking it slow and getting everything step by step so that you could follow through easily. I'm just adding a little bit of crackle to this. I'm going to use my crackle brush or my Mod Podge brush. As we had painted this already. And then we'll dry out crackle. I'm probably going to put it to the side and let it dry, and we'll work on our other piece. And for any of the new ladies and gentlemen here, welcome. I'm Ann with Whimsically Knotted. I welcome you to my page. I go live Mondays and Thursdays normally, but we have an appointment and we're watching our granddaughter on Thursday, so that's why I changed it to today. I do vintage rustic. I use stencils. We create craft. We do a lot of fun things, and on Saturday mornings I have Soul Filled Saturday. I'm gonna let that lay. Move that over and let that sit for a minute, and then we can work on our next one and see how crinkly this is. I love the way that turned out. Now for this one, I want to create the illusion that that stem is higher. So I found a itty bitty spool that one of my followers sent me, and I'm going to add this on here. I know it should be like this, but I'm going to add that on there because we're going to add some embellishments. And I am going to, I forgot to get the green paint out. I was going to get some green paint, or we can add a snip of this fabric on there instead. So you guys let me know what you think. That's what it looks like with the fabric. I gotta hold it. And then we could set this on here. Do you think we should use the fabric, or should we paint the spool in the green? Hey Jeannie, my friends. You guys let me know while I'll go dig for a green. Oh, that green would work well. I am thinking painting, and this is evergreen. Just get a little, I was going to get a little brush to paint that up real quick. I'm going to move this in case that falls out of my hand. I'm going to use a little bit of wax on top of this That way it will not be just a solid color. How are you doing, Jeannie? How is Colorado? Are you guys having a hot spell? Rain? We've been having rain. We're under flood advisory today. Had a really close thunderstorm last night. Actually, there was 2 thunderstorms back to back. And this spool is not vintage. This one I got from a follower, a lovely lady that sent these to me. I'm not going to worry about painting the bottom, but I want to dry this so I could touch it. So I'm going to get my heat tool. Thank you all for hopping on today. I appreciate you. Hey, Kathleen, how are you? Welcome. Just going to finish the top. And then I'm going to add a little bit of that Dark Hills wax on top. So that it looks a little bit more like the stem. Just dry it real quick. And I use this, and I know it is backwards. I do apologize. I've got my camera forward because sometimes I cannot see comments. So I've got my phone facing me. And I'm just adding this wax on here to darken this up a little bit. It is not painted perfectly. It is a little splotchy. But that gives it the character that it is. Oh yeah, that looks much better. That it is a vine and not, or a stem. See how much better that looks now? I think I just lost comments. Huh. If I miss your comment, I apologize. It seems like it just skipped and I lost a couple of comments, so I apologize about that. So now we are going to take our little spool, and I'm going to have to turn it my way, and we're going to glue him on right there to make it look like that stem extends. And I'm going to use the same Liquitex. And I forgot to turn my hot glue gun on, so and this is a canvas 4x4 inch canvas that we painted and added our napkin to. And I've made a little fussy bow or scrappy bow. And I'm just going to lay that back behind it like that. And these colors just match perfectly. So we're going to put that right behind. Should have left it open. Since I didn't put my... Thank you. It is matte gel. I know this backwards. Liquitex matte gel. It is supposed to be to put in with your paint, but it is really good as a glue, as a binder. I am going to put a little bit of glue behind. Our spool. And then I'm going to use a little bit of the Liquitex to put on here as well. And I just used a piece of fabric to tie that. I did not use jute. And I left everything long, so if we need to cut it, we can. I'm going to look and see which way I want this on here. And neither one of these glue sets really fast, so that's good. And I'm literally putting it right behind the spool. And then I'm going to add a couple of little tendrils. And that is... This is a big old spool I got off of Amazon. It is like wrapped wire, and it works really well to make little tendrils. And we could fluff this out a little bit after we get everything on that we want to get on here. And I'm just sticking it under here. And holding it down just a little bit. Just want to look and see how that'll work. Everything is still not adhered, so you have to be a little bit careful. And once these are adhered, we can move them to wherever we want them to be. That one I'm going to put on the top. And again, both of these glues dry clear. This is a 3-in-1 beacon, 3-in-1. It's supposed to dry fast. And once these are dry, we can bend them a little bit. But for right now, I am just going to let them sit so that they can adhere. We'll move back over here, and I will add some sisal to this in just a moment. I just want to show you all the little different steps so that you can see how things come together. I'll set this over here so it can dry what way I won't knock it over. You're welcome. I'm drying our where did I put it? Folk Art Crackle Medium. That is my favorite. And I've got some other embellishments that we can add on our big pumpkin. We're gonna add some moss. Got some leaves. I'm gonna try to dry our crackle. And we're gonna have to make sure when we do it that we are not upside down like I am right now. So I am gonna go ahead and turn this around. That way I know I'm not upside down. And this is sugared peach. This is gonna be my top coat. I had some fuzzies on there, so I had to blow that off. I'm going to use a soft brush. This is about a 1-inch brush, maybe. Can you guys see good? I love the napkins. I just wish I could tell you where I got that one from. The other side, I did not crackle. And it is already crackling as I am putting it on. Oh, roosters are making a racket out there. Most of the napkin will cover this, and we'll come back with a dark wax and darken the edge up. It's already cracking, yeah. It's already cracking beautifully. Oh, Lord. Crackling. That's what I meant to say, crackling. And that crackling will show through the napkin. So one side we crackled and the other side we didn't. So I wanted to show you the difference. If you have a lighter napkin, it might show up better. But I think it'll still do good. I got two little blobs on here that I want to get off. Not sure what they were. This is still very hot, so I'm just going to lightly smooth this out. And we got different kinds of crackle. We got fine crackle, a big crackle, and it seems like it's still crackling. This time I got my Mod Podge, so we're going to use Mod Podge. If I can get my bottle open. And there we go. It Mod Podged itself shut. Should not have put my brush in water yet. And I will show you a trick here in a minute if you don't know that yet. So stay tuned. And I am not doing the ironing excuse me, the iron-on method. For the iron-on method, you will let this dry. Then you position your napkin and use a piece of parchment paper over top of your napkin. And then you use a iron. You can use a regular household iron or a little craft iron. And you iron over top of it and reactivate the Mod Podge from the heat of the iron, and it will adhere your napkin. But we are just going to lay our napkin on top of this. And again, if you missed Monday, you'll have 30 days to watch it. And then it will go over to YouTube. I'm going to double check one more time. There was something on my napkin. I didn't know what it was, and I thought I had cut out a piece of my napkin, but I didn't. This is another gift from one of my amazing napkin friends. I was in a napkin club, and this is a Pouncy brush. She made that for me to pounce your napkin down. You do not see the crackle as good through here as you do with a lighter napkin. Now the only thing you have to watch out for, if your bristles get wet from the glue, you might be able to pull your napkin up, and we don't want to do that. Yeah, the crackle does not show through as much as it does on a regular napkin, on a lighter colored napkin. So it works better on a lighter colored napkin, where you can see the crackle come through. Note to self, use a lighter colored napkin. I don't think I have my, well, it's not sitting here. I've had one that I made with the bee design, and it looked really cool with the crackle behind it. But the crackle is not showing through. Well, you'll learn. So we experimented and we learned that it didn't work on this one. Try it with a lighter colored napkin, and it'll look really cool. I better get back in the camera. I'm just applying another coat of Mod Podge over top. And I am embracing the crinkles and the wrinkles because I think it goes really good with this napkin. If I wanted it smooth, I would have used the iron-on method. And if you want to seal something really good, go both directions. Like if this would be a top sealer for a piece, go in both directions. That way you know, like if you apply polyurethane or something to a piece, that way you know that you got everything covered. That is a good tip. And I am not sure if I'm going to add a bow or not. I've got one made up. I think this piece speaks for itself. I don't think it needs anything. But I'll let you guys be the judge of that. So you guys tell me whether it needs a bow or not. I'm going to dry this one more time. I wish the crackle would have came through. That would have been really cool to see, especially on the pumpkin, because it would have aged the piece a lot. So we're going to leave this sitting for a minute, and then we're going to work on our big one. I'm trying to see if I can see any crackle coming through. And if your brush ever gets to where you think you need to, it's got glue on it, just cut the bristles. Because all you're doing is using it to pounce. All right. Yep, he is on there. Let's dress him up. And here is my tip. You see how these look? All crinkled up. You can iron them. Let's see if I can get this over far enough. I got this on low heat. They look good as new. And you can also iron them. But that's all I did, is I just heated it up and all the wrinkles came out, all the folds. I'm going to add a little bit of moss. And I really need my hot glue gun for this. I didn't think I would need it. And I chose this yellow moss because it matches with what we got going on. And I don't know what this moss is called. I have no idea. That's what I'm going to do. I'll put it around like that. Hey, Kimberly. You found them at Etsy? Sweet. Yeah, Etsy is another place you can get them. I know Amazon has some. And then there's a couple of other napkin places. I am just adding some of this glue on here. And then I am going to add some hot glue whenever the hot glue is ready. This one will take a minute to heat up. To set. I don't know if my hot glue will get hot enough quickly enough. I can put some more hot glue on here in a minute. I am so glad that you found those napkins. I'm waiting on my hot glue. And there's this one, and we're going to add a little bit more to it. I'm going to hit it with some heat in a minute to and I'm waiting for the hot glue to heat up. And then we added this napkin over the top of the crackle, but the crackle did not show through. So I've made this, and excuse the strings on here. I made this bow, and I was wondering whether you guys think we should, because this size has the embellishments, and whether we should add this. Let's see. Ugh. Let me hold it this way. Whether we should add it. It does not want to hold the way I want it to hold. To that side right here. It picks up the colors in our piece. So you guys let me know whether we want to add the bow on that side. We want to add the bow to this side that has all the pretty things on here. Or whether we don't want to add a bow at all. Thank you, ladies. No bow? You guys let me know. All right, let's see if this is hot enough. So we can add a little bit of hot glue and glue our moss down, our mossy moss. I love the color of this moss. Move this out of the way for just a second, because knowing me, I will get stuff all over it. I think that looks pretty good with our leaves on there, and it's unexpected. All right, let's see. What did I have in mind? And there are some other leaves we can use on here. And if we want to use the more reddish leaves, the yellow leaf, I know I am going to use this one to put over on this side to match that up a little bit. So do we want the reddish leaves on here? And that will be on this side. Or do we want the yellow leaves? You know, we could put one of each. How about that? We're going to do one of each. That way we got a combination. And it will match all sides. I'm going to cut it a little bit shorter. this one, I want a little bit more on this side. You like all of them? Yeah, I think they all look really good. Let's see. I think that'll look good right there. I'm so glad you guys are here. This is what we have so far, and this is what it looks like from the top. And then if we want to, we can tack that down. I've got some of these little things, and I got some of these. I think I'm going to try to cut these apart and add a couple of these in here. These are those little foam things. Sometimes they're a little hard to cut apart to add in here. I will add a little bit of the other glue on there as well. To help it hold. What do you think? Does it need anything else? Do we need to put some tendrils on here? Let me know what you guys think. Let's get a little bit of the... This is sisal, and we're going to add a little bit in here to fluff this up a bit. And we can eat some, we can add some to that too. And we can cut this back. I'll be wearing this when I leave. I got this in a bag from Amazon. And I'm just sticking it under here, holding it down, and then we're going to give it a little haircut. Just some little wispies. And then we can move our ribbon out a little bit. I think it needs a little bit up here. I'm going to add one of these to there. Got another one. I'm going to add one of these. These are sometimes hard to get apart. Since they are foam. I like that. Thank you. Oh my goodness. Prayers for you that you will feel better. I think those just gave it that little bit of something. Do we need to add anything else? Do you think it looks good? Now that that is dry, we can move this around a little bit. What you guys think? I don't know. I just think it needs something. Got the tendrils. Maybe that's what it needed. They just needed them to be moved up. There. Is that better? Because I don't think the moss would look good in the front. See, that's when you just get to play. Just trying to see something. Let's see if I can grab up a few to add to the front. I've got a bunch laying here, so I'm just grabbing these up. No rhyme, no reason. Just grabbing. I've got a nice little bundle. And now we're just giving it a little haircut. I'm going to cut these a little bit more. Do we need to cut them more? Do you guys like it the way it is? I think it looks cute. And we can still move our fabric out a little bit. I think I'm going to tack that a little bit right there. Just make it behave a little bit. And there's our little harvest pumpkin. That's what I call it. I am going to snip off a little bit more here and there. And give it a little bit of haircut so it won't be so unruly. And does this guy need anything else? Do we need to put some tendrils on him? What do you guys think? Do we need to put some tendrils on them? I left this natural since the block is natural. And then here's this one. And you guys said no to the bow, correct? No bow on this one. Just leave it the way it is. I am going to add a little bit of dark wax, if I find my wax, to the sides. And I know I kept you guys forever. But I wanted you to see the process and the things that I use. To pull this all together. And I might add a little bit of brown paint to the sides here because I don't like the way that edge looks. So I might add a little bit of brown paint. But I just went around with my dark sealing wax and just added a little bit of dark sealing wax on that edge. So here we have it, and I'm going to put some brown paint on there. I just don't like that. And there's our embellished side. So this is just simple. And then we have our, and this was just a piece of 5-inch, 5x5 wood in a napkin. Now we have this little guy with his little tendrils, and that was a napkin as well. And this was a piece of 4x4 canvas. And then we have this big one. This is a 2x4. And we use transfers and embellishments. And did you guys say you wanted tendrils on there? Okay, just leave it the way it is. You guys have a blessed afternoon. Thank you for hanging out. And let's see, today's Wednesday. I will see you Saturday for our Soul-Filled Saturday. Have a blessed day and a great week, and stay safe, and prayers for all of those that requested them. Thank you so much. Thank you, Kimberly. See you later.